Hey folks, and welcome back to another episode of GGS2 Case 4. So, okay, it's been a week, forgive me, but, we want to get more information from Gossip about what happened, particularly with Gossip, what happened when he went into the room and knocked over the billboard at this point. So, yes, that's what it is. Okay, yes, sorry, it's been a week. Yeah, I'm trying to remember all my details again. So we're gonna go right into the testimony. Let's go. The mystery of the moving billboard. Or bulletin board. Billboard, wow.
Look, I don't know nothing about no bulletin board. All I did was put my hand down.
I don't know anything about it either. I was just talking business with the few second years. In spite of who I am, I can't say that I know either. All I did was stand perfectly still.
It was probably that Grim Reaper chap, right? With a face like that, I bet he's all about bulletin boards.
What does that even mean?
Either way, the fact that the detective died the moment that gunshot rang out won't change.
Please.
So no one knows.
A murder had just occurred right in front of them, and the only light in the room came from the candles and the small lamp. I believe it's reasonable that they aren't entirely sure what happened at the crime scene.
That's right. I don't think you can expect the impossible from us. Humanity's pitiful desire to know everything will bring the world to ruin.
Right.
Besides, as the witness just stated, even if someone had tried to move the bulletin board at the crime scene, there was only one person at the crime scene when the gunshot rang out, and that was the defendant. Which means the only one who could have possibly murdered the victim was Baroque Van Zeeks. It has no bearing on these facts.
That's true. Do you still wish to conduct a cross-examination?
Of course.
In that case, proceed, defense.
Also, the music picked up already. Wow, okay. Alright. Very quickly, this music already picked up. We only had, like, heard one testimony and the music already picked up. That's interesting. When you say talking business, you mean fireworks?
Yep. There's a place nearby called Prairie Military Preparatory School, see? Preparatory. And the naughty little ones there all want to blow up the school.
I see.
So I go to that school secretly to tattle on them to the teachers.
Tattle?
The students in that house was playing with a bad toy, and so on. And when that happens, the teachers confiscate all the fireworks the students bought. Which causes the kids to come to me again to buy some more, see?
Oh my god. What trickery is this?
And sometimes the teachers bring me a bit of reward money. How could I bring myself to stop selling my fireworks? You are certainly a shrewd one. I'm good at telling outrageous lies while maintaining a straight face, see?
Sandwich seems to think otherwise. May I? Sandwich-san?
If I say, no, you may not, will you simply say, oh, okay, and drop the matter?
No? You seem to be deep in thought after hearing Vina-san's testimony.
I was just thinking about it in terms of a philosophical proposition.
Huh?
Let's say, for the sake of argument, that there was an incredibly outrageous liar here. And let's suppose that this person, who was able to tell naught but lies with a straight face, said this. I'm good at telling outrageous lies while maintaining a straight face, see?
Would those words from the liar's mouth be true or another lie?
Quite the paradox, don't you agree?
I don't really understand, but ultimately, is this big liar you're talking about Vina-san? I think so!
I'll get upset if you don't stop saying weird things, old man. If you don't, I'll wrap all my fireworks around you and light them. You say some pretty terrifying things with that cute face of yours.
In any case, Vina-san's testimony contained a lie. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I spoke up prepared to roast in the fires of hell. So yes, that's what I'm saying.
Could you give us a little more detail, sir?
That day, the bloke with the lip ran towards the room where the gunshot had rang out, but a certain someone snuck up the stairs of the building after him. As you may have guessed, it was that big fat liar there. Teehee.
Me too!
So then, this girl also headed for the crime scene, to the victim's flat? Well, yeah, I told you, didn't I? I'm good at telling outrageous lies with a straight face.
You've gotta be kidding me. It seems that just now, an incredible bomb was just dropped on this courtroom. It's actually just a bunch of fireworks, though.
So you went to the crime scene, is that correct? Well, when you put it like that, I guess I did. I remember it quite clearly.
If you remember it clearly, then there's no I guess about it.
In any case, your punishment will be decided later. For now, we need you to testify, and truthfully at that. Yes, sir.
I don't think she's going to.
I follow the old gossip guy. I guess I just wanted to have a little peek for myself.
Oh, shit. Ah, no, whoops, my bad. What did I do? Okay. I went backwards, not forward. Are you really that big a liar?
I'm not really sure myself, but maybe it's best to take things I say with several grains of salt.
So then, did you go to the crime scene that day?
Of course not. That would have been way too scary.
But truthfully,
I just poked my head in.
What?
See, I'm at that age where I just want to know everything.
So, you didn't touch anything at the crime scene, did you?
I would never. There was a dead body lying right next to me, remember?
but truthfully,
Well, maybe just a little. I just wanted to make sure there wasn't anything I could sell.
Oh my god. Like, Asogi is playing... Naruho's playing good cop and Asogi's playing bad cop right now.
So I turned the place over, but really just a little. Got that?
I'm really hoping I'm wrong here, but you didn't happen to move the bulletin board that was at the crime scene, did you?
What? I've never carried anything heavier than some pocket change.
but truthfully,
Oh my god.
Well, I thought maybe there might be something valuable under that bulletin board, so I did my best to move it. With a heave-ho.
I love how she just changed her tune from just 2 words out of Asogi's mouth.
So then you... Are you saying you moved that bulletin board then?
That's what I'm saying.
Are you kidding me?
Unbelievable. Foolish girl. So, did you find anything? Anything you could sell?
What? Are you kidding me? As if I managed to find anything
But truthfully...
He's so done.
I found this rubbishy old watch. It was lying under the bulletin board. But if you ask me, this piece of junk...
Ah!
Hi!
So, you were the one who took it!
Hello, Gina. Gina-san.
Now see here, you can't just take the stand whenever it suits you.
That watch was a memorial present to my boss from the yard for solving that case 10 years ago!
The case in question was likely the professor incident.
The boss had a habit of wearing that watch every night as he ate dinner at the pub.
Is that so?
One time I nicked it from his pocket, and the boss nearly had a fit. For 10 years, every single day, once a day, he'd wind it up and polish it up nice. He said the only thing he treasured more than that watch was his life.
And that's what you chose to pickpocket from him?
But I don't think this is that great of watch. I brought it to Jabaz's second-hand shop right away that night, but he wouldn't buy it from me. It's all been broken, after all.
Ugh. I knew I should have nicked it from him!
In any case, are we seriously gonna just let her walk away from this shit, just robbing a dead person? I don't know, it's just, if we let this shit continue, in the future... In any case, I'm going to need you to submit that watch right away.
You better give it back later.
But why would you want it back if it's not worth anything?
And the moment you do, I'll nick it from her!
Never mind that. Just hand it over.
Children, please.
This watch seems to have had its glass broken.
It was likely broken when Detective Gregson was shot.
Apparently that watch doesn't work. That's why Jabaz wouldn't buy it from me. Indeed, the watch hand is stopped at 5 o'clock.
That's exactly when the gunshot rang out at the crime scene.
Perhaps that means it was broken because it was struck by the bullet?
Gregson's watch. Detective Gregson's Detective Gregson wound this watch every day without fail. The glass is broken and it stopped working.
In any case, it seems that we've solved the mystery of the moving bulletin board.
Unfortunately, it doesn't appear to have real significance, though.
I suppose it's time to return to the cross-examination.
Holy crap, there's so much evidence in there. I'm like, what the hell? There's a lot of evidence in here. I think actually by the end of case 5, you just fill up 5 pages of evidence or something. The glass face has been mercilessly cracked, hasn't it?
It sounds as though he really loved his watch. What a shame.
I bet Holmes-san would fix it up real nice again.
I bet you're right.
He's skilled with his hands and good at a lot of things, so he's useful to have around. Wow!
Please refrain from treating the great detective like your errand boy.
Hey man, he treats Naruhodō like an errand boy, why not him? Also, I really appreciate... So my problem with playing DGS on the phone is that, like, it's really hard when you're examining stuff to pick things on there because you're using the touchscreen to move the object around, but also you need the touchscreen to, like, select things. So when you're trying to select things, you can't slide it around like using a stylus on a 3DS. You have to, like, as far as I know, you have to tap the area that you want to examine. Otherwise, if you, like, slide around on the screen, it just spins the object around. That's my only issue with the phone when trying to examine stuff. Anyway, there's a small piece of broken metal poking up out of this little hole.
That's likely the stem, which is used for setting the time.
It sounded like Detective Gregson really treasured this watch, so it was probably during the murder that it broke.
You're probably right. In which case...
Maybe this broken bit was lying around at the crime scene? Huh? It looks like there's a keyhole here.
It's probably the key that allows the stem to be wound.
How should I put this? It's got kind of a unique shape to it, doesn't it?
We should be able to wind the stem if we just have the key that fits the keyhole.
The key that fits the keyhole. I feel like we've seen this shape before. Why do I get the feeling I've seen one recently?
A key that would fit this keyhole perfectly, I mean. If we do have the key, then maybe we should try examining it one more time.
Let's do that. Let's leave. Do have something we can look into. This policeman figure again. I think this is going to be the same dialogue. I think.
This is a cute little figurine, but his head looks a little worn.
Setting his cuteness aside for a moment, you're right. There's quite a bit of damage to the head. Almost like it's been grabbed and manipulated over and over. Shall we try grabbing and manipulating it too? Whoa! This...
As far as I can tell, it looks like a simple key.
It's pretty small. Probably not the key to a door. Wonder what it goes to. Gee, I wonder indeed! Let's examine the key again. Look at this, Susato-san. This key kind of looks like it might fit the keyhole of Detective Gregson's watch.
You're right. Now, Naruhodō-sama, hurry! Let's try it!
I was right. It's a perfect fit.
Look! Gregson-sama's watch is working again!
It looks like it just needed to be wound. Why is wound and wound spelled the same way in English? What's wrong, Susato-san?
The watch hasn't broken, and that might just indicate a very important fact.
Sounds like Susato-san's completely thought this through. I better try to do the same. Gregson's watch. Detective Gregson wound this watch every day without fail. When we wound it, it started working. Let me go. Do I present the watch? I do. Okay, let's go backwards. There's too many pages. You can't claim that with certainty anymore. Huh? This watch winding key was found at the crime scene.
Did you say a key?
And when we wound the watch, it started working again. The reason the watch stopped wasn't because it was damaged. And that fact is significant enough to overturn one of the major premises of the prosecution's case.
What?
Order! But this watch had definitely stopped at 5 o'clock. And that's right when we heard the gunshot, remember?
Was it a gunshot?
That's the time we heard it at, alright?
I'm beginning to suspect it's actually fireworks. The time the hands were indicating was only the time that it needed to be wound again. The fact that it happened to be 5 o'clock was likely just a coincidence.
Even if that were the case, the witnesses heard the gunshot ring out from the crime scene at 5 p.m. It's only natural to assume that's when the murder occurred.
However, that wasn't the case.
Why not?
Inspector Lestrade previously testified the following.
The boss had a habit of winding that watch every night as he ate dinner at the pub. For 10 years, every single day, once a day, he'd wind it up and polish it up nice. He said the only thing he treasured more than that watch was his life.
The victim had a habit of winding his watch once a day in the evening. In that case, he must have wound his watch that way the day before the murder as well.
Indeed, that is what it would mean.
If that were true, then naturally, the watch shouldn't have needed to be wound again the day of the murder at 5 p.m.
Whoa! You're right!
What's going on here?
What this means is that the victim, the day before the gunshot rang out in that little room, was already in a state where he wasn't able to wind his watch.
You can't mean...
Ooh. What circumstances would be required for you to abandon a habit you'd never once in the course of 10 years forgotten? By the time the watch needed to be wound again, the victim had already died. Huh.
Order! This is quite a shocking claim.
It's not shocking, it simply doesn't make sense. The night before, you say? If that were the case, there's no way Scotland Yard's coroner would have missed that.
Well,
Regarding that, there's just one thing I'm curious about. And that's the fact that this autopsy report contains no record of the estimated time of death.
you're right.
But don't forget how I collapsed from fear in that room.
What do you mean?
I mean, that's when I got the blood on my hand and smeared it on the floor.
Which means that the victim's blood wasn't dry yet.
Yeah, there you go. That's what I was getting at.
But it's possible that the blood could have been sprinkled around afterwards. All you need to do is get your hands on some fresh blood and pour it...
Fresh blood doesn't grow on trees, you know.
Well, yeah, but it wouldn't have needed to be human blood. Already heard that the Yard doesn't possess the technology to distinguish human blood from other types.
It's currently being researched, but as of right now, it's impossible.
So then, if that blood belonged to a chicken or something,
And it would have been possible to fabricate the puddle of blood.
However, there's no mistaking that it was 5 p.m. when the gunshot was fired at the crime scene.
Can we really be sure about that?
What?
There's room for doubt in the time of death. In that case, there's also room for doubt in whether that gunshot was real.
What are you getting at?
See, it keeps panning to her, so I'm just like, it's probably fireworks at this point when we come up to the subject about that gunshot.
We heard it clear as day. A big bang coming right from that room.
Now listen here. I'll have you know that a peddler's ears are an important tool of the trade. I see that you still have the whip for your horse when you used to run carriages. Right, the only thing you heard was a sound.
Huh?
What do you mean, Defense?
If we're talking about the sound, then it would have been possible to make it without ever firing a gun. Let's examine it first. We need to examine it. Alright, let's look at this.
What's wrong? You keep staring at the fuse.
Well, it's just that it's the 600 pence Venus special. I was just wondering how loud a sound it could make.
Shall we light it and see?
Huh? But she said it'd blow the courtroom to smithereens. Bang. That sure packed a punch, didn't it?
It wasn't just a punch. It was almost like a real...
Venus Fireworks, the Venus Special. 100 of her usual 6-pence string of fireworks. Makes it sound like a gunshot. There we go. There we go. So let's present it. For example, the killer could have used these.
Those are the fireworks the witness was selling. Hey, you calling me a murderer? This is the best these cheap little fireworks of mine are capable of.
However, if it were the 600 pence special version, made up of hundreds of these, then, as you've just heard, they make a wonderful gunshot. Look at that smug Naruhodō pose, man!
Eek!
Are you trying to say that someone set those fireworks off at the crime scene?
The people of Fresno Street heard a gunshot at 5 p.m., and it was likely a ploy to pin the crime on the defendant who was in the room at the time.
But there was no third party at the crime scene at that time. Regardless of whether it was a gun or some fireworks, the only one who could have set them off was the defendant.
The selling point of my fireworks is that they go off as soon as you light them, you know? That sounds incredibly dangerous.
Since arriving in this country, I've learned about numerous useful inventions. Like, something known as a time bomb.
But bomb?
You can set it to go off at whatever time suits you and blow up whatever you want.
Might want to rehearse that, Naruhodō-sama, or you might end up causing an international incident.
Oh, no! The important bit was the part about whatever time suits you.
A timer, huh?
Yeah, that! A timer! There were traces indicating the use of such an item at the crime scene. Traces of a setup which could have set off the gunshot automatically without the culprit being present.
In that case, the court will need the defense to present evidence. Evidence indicating the existence of a timer that could have set off the gunshot at the time of the murder.
Which we will do that in the next video because, hello, we are out of time now. So I will see you guys then with the reveal of the answer.